everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina. I've shared a lot of personal things online in hopes to relate to somebody. And I'll be honest, it's been kind of motivating because I read everyone's comments and it's very heartwarming, and I love hearing encouraging words, especially from strangers that say that I've helped them in some sort of way. So I just wanted to show my gratitude and appreciation before I get started. It's the new year, and today I wanted to share what took me 29 years to achieve. I'm hoping my audience is a little younger, or if you're older, that's fine, of course. But I really wish I learned some of these things at an earlier age. And I'm kind of disappointed that it took me so long. But now that I'm here, I'm really excited to just share some wisdom and hopefully change your perspective on things and help you have a year of confidence building if you're struggling with that, or just enhancing your confidence. The first misconception about confidence I want to address is the whole fake it till you make it. While I do believe that does get you very far in life, being in sales, that's a huge thing, I also think that you have to truly embody it and trust yourself. Instead, you have to do the inner work to become confident. And the first step that I have with that is trusting yourself and just doing things and trying to trust yourself. One thing that I struggled with was I could not make any decisions. I had to ask confirmation from friends. Like, it was ridiculous. And I would need like that validation that what I did was the right thing. And it wasn't until I finally was like, I'm not going to call this person that I always call, because first of all, it's kind of annoying. And second of all, I didn't always agree with their response. And I feel like I had to just really own who I was and just be like, yes, I said this. If it was wrong, it was wrong. And I didn't need anyone to tell me if it was right or wrong. It's my actions or my words or whatever. I took it and was accountable about it. And then if it was a mistake, I'll learn from it. But there's no reason for me to rehash it with somebody every second. Now, don't get me wrong. There are certain things that you can definitely talk to your friends about, but I think sometimes, for the most part, you learn to rely on yourself and trust yourself, and just trust the process. If it's wrong, it's going to work out. So trust yourself. Searching for validation, this also goes into a whole other aspect. Like, don't go out and look for validation from people. Validate yourself. You really cannot depend on people. They're so unpredictable. Everybody has different perspectives on life, and you may not always agree with them. Another way you can start trusting yourself is my tip number 2, or my point number 2. So 1, trust yourself. 2, keep promises you make to yourself. So for example, the second I started to say, like, I'm giving up alcohol, not the second, but like, that is a promise I made to myself, for example. And me achieving that promise and like making that promise to myself actual or valid, that just made me more reliant on myself and my own thoughts and the promises I keep to myself. And another one I have made to myself is going to the gym at 6 a.m. I don't do it every morning, but I do it at least 3 days a week. And I kind of had to hold myself accountable with that because it's really hard for me to wake up in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I could sleep for the rest of my life. I love sleep. But how I did that is I started Legree, which I love, by the way. If you hate lifting weights, you should definitely try Legree. But if I don't attend to this class at 6 a.m., I have to pay $20 for not showing up. And not saying that's the best advice for everyone, but that I don't want to spend that $20. So it really pushes me to go to the gym, and I have not missed a class at 6 a.m. At all. So that has been something that I have been doing that makes me feel good and also helps me keep promises to myself. I want to get fit this year, and I'm going to do it. And no more lazy girl era. I'm out of that era. Number 3, of course, doing things that make you feel good. I can't believe that I'm going to say this. I don't think alcohol makes me feel good. I just noticed a huge difference in how I feel, the energy levels, and just my anxiety is just like slowly went down. And I'll probably always still kind of have it at moments because I still do, but I just have started doing more of what makes me feel good and really listening to what I need and taking action towards that, which is working out and cutting back on alcohol for sure. Because, not to say I had a problem or anything, but doing it every weekend, like, and then recovering throughout the week just to do it again the next weekend, that gets repetitive, and I don't think I like it. I think I had a people pleasing issue where I would be out and I wanted to be the fun Christina and I would take shots, and I actually didn't want to do it. So it got me nowhere. But doing what makes you feel good may not be that. Maybe you don't have that as your concern. So if you really like to paint and you feel like you have this sense of accomplishment after painting, really take the time to put that in your schedule to do those things, because that's all of the things that make you you, and that's what makes you unique. And I feel like really tapping into the things that make you unique is also really great with self-confidence. Something that makes me unique is I have my cosmetology license and I also work in the corporate world. So I really wanted to dabble back into that. So I randomly pick up shifts now whenever I have a booking where I'm able to play with hair and just utilize that cosmetology license and that passion of mine. And some people might think it's silly that I have that side job along with the corporate world, but it gives me like a sense of creativity. Like, it's a creative outlet that I've always wanted. And I think the hardest part about owning what makes you unique is I feel like a lot of times people will make other people feel bad about their quirks and their beautiful qualities that they have that make them different. And I think the second that if you have an insecurity about that and you acknowledge it and then you overcome it, or you're just able to just own it, that is the most freeing feeling in the world. Because people are going to have so many opinions and you can't keep minimizing your light for other people's comfort. That is another one of my New Year's resolutions, because that is life wasted. And that person that is making you feel, or if there is anyone that makes you feel like you're not as great of a person because of whatever your interest or quality is, that says a lot about them. It says nothing about you. Why would you want to be around somebody like that? And if you're struggling with your self-confidence, in all honesty, you probably shouldn't be surrounding yourself with somebody that's projecting all of their insecurities onto you anyway. Something I've recently learned, and this is something that I have had struggled with, I had an oh my God, I cannot say it. Inferiority complex. Oh my God, I cannot say this for some reason. And some people have a superiority complex. And I would really walk around thinking everyone was better than me. And that's not the case. Like, they might be more knowledgeable than me in certain topics or better at certain things than I am. I'm not athletic. So if somebody wants to try to beat me in a basketball game, they're going to probably do it. But do I want to be athletic? No. Basically, if you are struggling with feeling like you're inferior and you're surrounding yourself with people that have like this dominant, superior mindset, which I actually read is not always the case. They don't always feel superior. It's like their way of faking it. But if you struggle with feeling inferior and you're surrounding yourself with somebody that has the need to feel superior all the time, that can really be draining on you in your confidence, and you can really stay in the inferior mindset. I don't know if that makes sense, but it really does for me. It like hit home for me, so I hope it hits home for somebody else. Like, I don't want to live like that. I want to be able to shine and like grow in the ways that I'm meant to grow, and I want the same for other people. I genuinely want the same for other people. Sometimes I feel like people struggle with wanting the same in return for me, which is really sad. But like, I think that's just the way life goes. People are gonna have so many different perspectives. So that's why I go back to square one. You cannot depend on other people. You just can't. Like, you can depend on other people for certain things, but like when it comes to your confidence and your self-worth, you really have to radiate it from within. You can radiate it from within is by doing things alone. Not feeling like you're an outcast because you're sitting at a lunch table by yourself or at the cafe by yourself. Really getting yourself out there and doing things alone and doing what scares you, that also really helps as well. I am terrified of public speaking, but I did it this past week for work. And I feel like the more you do what scares you, the less you're gonna stay in this box that you have made for yourself or others may have made for you as well. And you just want to constantly try to do what scares you the most. That way you can continuously grow into the person that you're supposed to be. So I just think taking initiative on what scares you, if it's public speaking and you're in school and you're in a group project, take that time to be the one to do your public speaking. Have a game plan though. Be like, I'm reading this, this, and this is a side note I can think. Whatever helps you remember so you're not drawing blank on stage or whatever it is in front of the class. Just help you come up with the game plan, go with that game plan. You do not have to be anybody else but yourself. But using your voice does do a lot. I know public speaking is like the #1 fear that everyone has. So that's a good example, I guess. And using my voice has been a huge struggle for me. Being a people pleaser, I always want to say the right things and make people happy. And the truth of the matter is I have to just use my voice. I can just say things tactfully and hopefully it resonates. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But you have this one life. You're one unique person and your voice deserves to be heard. And even if it's terrifying and you're just reading a slide about something you don't care about because it's for school, it'll just help you exercise that aspect of utilizing your voice. And I just want everyone to know that what you have to say matters, because for the longest time I didn't, and I think I'm finally getting to the point where I realize that. And the final thing that I started doing that helps me go from a very insecure person to a confident person, confident most of the time, is noticing my self-limiting beliefs. Our minds are insane when it comes to this. I did not realize how much I doubted myself. I realized I would think like, you could never do this. I may never be this person that I aspire to be, or that comparing myself to a whole other person that is really good thinking on their toes when it comes to public speaking. I am not that kind of person, but I can be the best that I can be and I continuously can grow. Having self-limiting beliefs will keep you in a box that you create for yourself and you will never get out of it. So if you're able to just pay attention to them and you take that negative thought and turn it into a positive, it will do wonders to yourself. The biggest takeaway for me with the self-limiting beliefs is that is what held me back so much when I was younger. I could have gone a lot further if I knew what I was doing to myself mentally with these self-limiting beliefs. Things that I've noticed and just my thought processes on it. I would love to hear everybody's experiences when it comes to maybe trying to grow your confidence, because just being aware is step one. Like it is, and that's why I started this video by saying like faking it till you make it is not that great, because I've noticed a lot of people who are faking it, but you really just have to exude your confidence from within. And the best way to do that is by doing the work. And that's really being aware of what's going on and what's happening and paying attention to your thoughts and not feeding into them. Like if you have a negative thought, be like, that's a little interesting that you say that. Maybe journal and writing it down. It's the new year. It's still January. And I really hope you guys could take this video and it could be some type of support when it comes to self-esteem. And let's try to glow as much as we possibly can this year, because we are all beautiful in our own way. We all bring something to this amazing universe. We literally live in a sphere all together, and we are in this skin, and that does not define us either, because you are literally just more than that, so much more than that. And I wish that's something people understood, because I feel like our purpose is greater than we'll ever really know, because just existing is so cool enough as it is. So I just hope that you're able to grow as much as possible and let your stars shine. I don't know if that makes sense, but just let yourself shine. And I'm excited to see it. All right. Well, if you liked this video, please thumbs up and leave your comments below on your thoughts. And I would love to hear more about your experience with this as well, if this is another experience somebody had.